Hello, welcome to Class Cafe. In this tutorial, we're going to look at the introduction to batch programming. We want to study programming, and people get scared when they hear of programming. Like programming is difficult, programming is huge, and a whole lot of stuff. I'm going to simplify programming to you. I love programming because with programming, I'm able to control my PC. I tell my computer what to do, and then it responds to me, to my command. That's one reason why I love programming, and I want you to love it too. Just come along with me. Let's get started. We are going to look at batch programming. So at the end of writing a batch program, we develop what we call a batch file. What is a batch file? A batch file is simply a computer program that basically gives a list of instructions for a computer to follow. So here, computer sleep, and then it sleeps. Computer wake up, it wakes up. Computer, what's my name? And it mentions your name is Osborne. That's what a batch file does, giving instructions to the computer and the computer executing such instructions or such commands. Now in this tutorial, I will demonstrate different commands and give a brief explanation on what they do. Don't worry, let's get started. The first thing you are going to know is that you need to perform this on a Windows computer. And then we need certain tools for this particular programming. You don't have to install any complex software. I'm not going to ask you to go onto the net to download anything. Whatever you have is right here on your PC. We are going to use a tool called Notepad. I'm sure we've used Notepad in our previous videos, so you know how to get it. Just click on your start button, type Notepad, and then it appears here. This is the tool we are going to use for writing our batch program. And we'll be using another tool called CMD, or the command prompt. Now whatever code you write, you can write it same on CMD and then it will run. But one thing you should know is that when you write a program, the program will run on CMD. That's the command prompt. So we write our programs in Notepad and then it will be executed in CMD. So since we are here to write programs, let's close the CMD for now and then get started. You are ready to start coding. So now let's create our first batch file. I've opened Notepad, and the first command we are going to learn is @echo of. This is the first command you are going to learn in this series, @echo of. Now get the spelling right. For now, just have it in mind that whatever program you are going to write in batch file or batch programming, you need to start with @echo of. Put that in your mind for now. It's not true. It's not so with all programs, but for the simple or basic programs you are going to write from now onwards, we'll be beginning with @echo of. I will explain this later. So now we have to save this. What do we have to do? I click on File, click on Save As. Now, I'm about saving this program. Now, there is something called file extensions. I will explain file extensions later. So, since this is a docs.txt, which means it's a text file, this is a batch program. So, I need to change this to all files so that I can name my program. I want to give it my name, Osborne. Name it with your name as well, or whatever name you want. Then because this is a batch file, I'll end it with .bat. Now if you don't add .bat to whatever name you are naming your program, it won't run as a batch file. Have that in mind. So I'm naming my program Osborne, and I'm adding the extension .bat to it. My save as type is set to all files. I set my location wherever I want to save it. I want to save it in this folder called batch programming. So I click on save. Now you can see my program being appeared here. Let me minimize this. This is my batch program. Look at the file type. It says what? Windows batch file. So this is a batch file with the size of 1 kilobyte. I hope you are getting it. Now let me open this batch file to see what happens. You see CMD opened and then it went off. Now because if you not ask this program to do anything, it just opens and then goes off. So now you're going to open this same program and then try to add or make some editing. add something to it. I want to work on the same file, so I'm gonna right click on it and then click on edit. And once I click on edit, the notepad file gets open. Now I'll click here, hit enter. Then the next code or line of code I'm going to write is pause at echo off, and our next line is what? Pause. Do you get it? Now let's save this. Because I've already saved this as a batch file, I can just press Ctrl S, or for the sake of demonstration I click on file and then I go to save. Now this program has been saved. Now let me open this same file and see. You remember at first when we saved it, it just opened and went off. But look at what will happen this time around. I've opened and it's saying press any key to continue, and it's not going off. The moment I press any key, it goes off. I'm opening it again, it's open and it's not going off. I have added an instruction to the program we've written. Let's go and edit this back. Oh sorry, so let me go to edit. We have our program. Now I use the pause command, and the pause command freezes the code and prints out press any key to continue. Notice if you run the code without the pause, the box will open up and close in an instant. This is because there was no pause function to freeze the code. So if you want to freeze your code, you add the pause function. Just put that in your head for now. We've learned 2 lines of code at echo off and then pause. I said that when you use the pause function, it freezes the code. So if I double click this code, it should have gone off. And because I've indicated or included the pause function, we know what functions are later, into my code. It has printed press any key to continue. And once I press any key, because there is no other line of code for this program to execute, the machine or the program goes off. I hope you are following. Now, this is something to know. Make sure you save your work before you run your code, or else your work will not pop up when running the code. Always make sure you save your work before you run your code. Now when you are talking about running your code, it's not anything huge. So I'm going to run this code. Running this code means I should double click on it and it's running. So we say my code is what? Running. That's what running or run your code means. Hope you are getting it. Congratulations, you've created your first batch file program. Next, we will look at some ways we can use 3 different commands. I'm going to use the pause command, the echo command, and then the at echo off commands. So let's get right in there. Okay, let me see. So I'm going to open Notepad again. Sorry. So I'm going to give an example, then I explain. At echo off, then echo hello, then I pause, I echo this is my second batch file. Let me add program to it. Program. I pause again. Let me echo goodbye. And then I pause. Now I'll save this file. As second program. So that's let me hit save. Now let me take this here. This is my second program. I want to run it. Look at what's happening. It says hello. and I'm to press any key to continue. This is my second batch file program. Press any key to continue. It says goodbye. Press any key to continue, and then the program is off. Now let me run it again. So we have hello, press any key to continue. Let me open the batch file. So I started with at echo off. Let's forget about that one for now. Now if you want to print anything to the screen, you want any text to be displayed, use the echo command. Use the echo command. So since I've mentioned or indicated echo hello, now however you type your hello, that's how it will be displayed. If I were to type this H with hello with a small h, but I've seen a small h, hello there. Hope you are getting it. So after typing that, because there is a pause command after the echo hello command, it's asking me to press any key. Then the code has run from at echo off to echo hello to pause. Are we getting it? Now pause is asking me to what? Press any key. So let me get back here and indeed press any key. Now I've pressed any key, so meaning the second line of code has been written. Say, echo, this is my second batch file program. It has been, we can all see it here. This is my second batch file program. You get it? And the next command is pause. So since there is pause here, then I have to press another key to continue. So let me get here and press another key. Now after pressing another key, that's after the pause command, the next thing to echo is what? Goodbye. You can all see the goodbye written beautifully here. And then the next is what? Pause. So you have pressed another press any key to continue. Do you get it? Now after doing this, you can get back to Notepad and then try making one of these yourself. I hope you get the three commands you've used: the pause command, the echo command, and then at echo off commands. I told you whenever you are starting, always start with what? At echo off for now as a beginner. Thank you very much. I'm going to learn three other commands: the CLS command, the goto command, and colon loop command. So I'll write another program. Then you see what I mean. So at echo of echo, hey, down to pause, down to echo. This is my third batch file. Down to pause, down to CLS, down to echo. Hi, I love you. And then pause for now. So what do? We do the usual drill, right? So let me save this. That's fair. Program. I'm saving this. Now let me run it. Third program. It says, hey, press any key to continue. Now let me compare with this. So at echo off, echo hey, so that's hey. There is pause, so press any key to continue. Said echo, this is my batch file. So if I should press any key, this is my third batch file should be displayed. And then there's another echo file right beside. Let me resize this so you see it very well. Yeah, right. So this is my batch file. We press any key. Say bye. I love you. Press any key to continue. Now something happened. When we started running the code, we saw, hey, this is my third batch file. And then after pause, everything was cleaned, or everything wiped away. The entire screen has been cleaned because of the CLS command. If you want to wipe the entire screen, you use CLS. Put that in mind. you use CLS command. Because you use the CLS command, we are trying to what? Clear the screen. Do you get it? So the CLS command is very basic. It does what many people assume it does. That's clear the screen. So you are clearing the screen. Now I echo bye, I love you. So since this is the last thing I'm echoing after the CLS command, then that becomes what? Our first program. Our first let me say line of code being displayed. Do we get it? Let's practice it again. So let me erase this pause by CLS. Let me echo programming is easy. Let me pause. Let me save this. Press Ctrl S and write my third program again. So here, press any key to continue. This is my third batch file. Programming is easy. You all saw what happened, right? Now we are going to look at loop, and then so let me close this. Open my notepad again. Let's look at the loop and go to command. The loop and go to command. Now these two commands go very nice together. One cannot work without the other. Now I will explain. Okay, let me write a code. Let me write a short code here. So at echo off, let me clear the screen. Let me loop. Cool. This is the day. Let me pause. This is not the yesterday. Let me pause again. We go to loop. Now let me save this. Let me name it loop. .bat. Don't forget to change this to all files. Let's see. Now I'll run this loop and go to tell me this good. So this is the day. So I take off, clear the screen, loop. And we are not seeing any loop here. We are seeing this is the day. Now press any key. This is not the best day. Press any key. It gets back to this is the day. Press any key. This is not the best day. I hope you are seeing what's happening. I press this is the day. This is not the best day. So we are seeing some kind of what? Repetition. Loop simply means repetition. Okay. So in this case, the goTo function tells the computer to send the user back to the top of the code, where the whole code repeats itself. Now the loop function does not need to be named loop. Have that in mind. You can use whatever name you want. In our previous matrix tutorial, matrix effect, it's on this channel. You can check it out. I think I'll write that code again in this at the end of the channels. This tutorial, so that you check it out. We use colon matrix. So instead of writing loop on that side, we wrote what? Matrix. Okay. So you can name it almost whatever you want. Just make sure whatever you name it, when you call the goTo function, you say goTo, then you indicate whatever name you are using. In this case, I'm using what? Loop. So I'm saying goTo, meaning after writing the entire program, go back to loop. Go back to loop. So the program gets back to start running from what? This side. Are you getting it? Let me close it. Let me erase this. So what? Echo off. Let me clear the screen. My matrix. Then let me echo random. Now I copy this, then I paste for about 5 seconds. I press Ctrl V for about 5 seconds, and I hit enter, and I said go to matrix. So what will happen when I save this program? It will start from echo of clear the screen, then it okay, call matrix, right? Now in this matrix loop or whatever, we are asking it to print random numbers. Okay, now we want it to print random numbers which has no end. Then after printing, it should go back to matrix, so it will print matrix, and in the matrix we have random numbers. So to print random numbers, go back to matrix, go and print random numbers, go back to matrix, go and print random numbers. I don't know if you are getting it. Let me run the code and see. So matrix effect .bat. So test files. Alright, so let me save this, and then let me run this. Look at what's happening. Can you see what's happening? So it's printing random numbers. Once it's done printing, it gets back to the loop where the loop started from, and then run the command again. So it echoes another random number, set of random numbers, gets back there, echoes another set of random numbers. So that's what the loop and the go to command does. I hope you are getting it, and I'm sure you're enjoying this lesson. Let's continue to simple variables. Variables is a very exciting topic. Don't you think so? Do you remember algebra? You still remember what a variable is, right? That's great. So basically, a variable is an object that stores data. An object that stores data. A variable is like a bucket in which you pour water. It's like a container. So we put files into it. That's basically what a variable is. Are you getting it? So let's take this code. So I start with my regular as at echo off, and let me clear the screen and echo. Have you eaten already? That's what I'm doing. And I say set p food to now echo. You said colon food. Let me pause. I'm going to save this. Save it as variable. Don't get confused, okay? Just repeat the tutorial and watch it over and over. You understand it very well. We have a variable batch file here. Let me open it. So, have you eaten? Have you eaten? I said yes. You said yes. Press any key too. Let me open it again. Have you eaten? No. The program says you said no. So the computer asks whether I've eaten or not, and I said no, and it's telling me that I mentioned what? No. Now let's compare our output to the program we have here. If you run this, the CMD box will show up and will ask you, have you eaten already? That's what you can see here. Now there is whatever response you type in and press enter, it will say you said and then repeat your response to you. Now let's look at the code. We understand the first 3 lines, right? You understand at echo off, you understand CLS, you understand echo have you eaten already. Now what happens to this set /p food is equal to? The 4th line states, that's the 4th line, what I've highlighted here. You are probably wondering, what's this for? Or from this symbol and stuff. Well, the word set basically says to the computer we are creating a variable. So whenever you want to create a variable, you start with what? Set. Put that in mind. That's a keyword you start with, set. Whenever you want to create a variable or a variable in batch programming, you start with what? Set. I hope you get it. Now the forward slash is the type of variable. In this case, we are making a p variable. So this forward slash here is indicating the type of variable we are creating. And it's telling the computer that we are creating what? A p variable here. I hope you are getting it. Now, the word food here is the name of our variable. So set. So this set here says we want to create a variable, and this forward slash p says we are creating a p variable. And the name here, food, is the name of the variable. Because it's a name, you can choose whatever name it is. So I'm going to change this to answer. Now, I hope you get this part. You get it very well, right? After writing, you add what? An equal to sign to it. You get it? So we are setting an answer. We are setting we are putting a content into a container called answer. That's basically what this means here. And when it comes to the fifth line of code, say echo you set food. Since we changed the food here to answer, we have to change the one here to why. We are calling a variable name here. So answer. We'll run it and then we'll get the same result. Now you ask yourself, what are these two percentage signs doing here? Now when you put a variable name in between two percentage signs, then it means that start printing this. Now when you get here, don't print this. If you were to write you said answer, let me ignore the percentage sign and look at what will happen. So I'm going to save this. Let me close this and then run our variable command again. So have you eaten? I said yes. Here you said answer. Now you said answer because that's what has been indicated here. So if I want the content of the answer variable to be displayed, then I need to put it in between what? Two percentage signs. Now I'm going to save this again. Or let me resave it as variable new variable 1, and let's look at something dot bt. Right, so let me put this here. Let me minimize this a bit, and let me open my folder to here. Great. Don't get confused, you cannot do anything. So let me put this in between, or let this come here. Great. Let me close this as well. So this is the first one. I'm going to open my variable 1. Look at what will happen. Yes, I've written. I said yes. You said yes. But look at the previous one. It mentioned that you said answer. But what I said wasn't answer. I mentioned what? Yes. So we need the two percentage sign so that the content of that particular, how do you call it, variable will be displayed instead of the variable's name. So that's it for our introductory video. Just take your time and go through the video, okay? It's not confusing at all. If you're a beginner, you might be finding some challenges, but with constant practice, you will understand it. Be expecting to see more programs soon. I'm going to write interesting programs in Bash. See you next time.